This is the Coachella of cars, the Burning Man for burning rubber. More than 100,000 people expected to come to Monterey and Pebble Beach for Car Week. But all eyes are going to be on this car. It's a 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO, and it is about to become the most expensive car ever sold at auction. The estimate on this car is between $45 to $60 million. Now, the GTOs are considered the holy grail for collectible cars. Ferrari only made 36 of them. They dominated racing during their time, and many think that this car is the most beautiful Ferrari ever made. Over 100 cars are expected to sell for more than $1 million over the next 3 days. But the big threat hanging over this market right now is tariffs. Now, it turns out the 25% tariffs that the president is proposing not only apply to new cars, but would also apply to pre-owned and classic cars coming from Europe. And it turns out because the U.S. market is so much stronger than Europe, a lot of the cars coming for sale in the U.S. coming from Europe and will be subject to the tariffs. And that could choke off a lot of the supply.
The issue that we're going to have is nobody's going to be willing to pay an additional 25% to get their car. So there might be a 20% advantage to bringing it to the U.S. to sell it, but if I have to pay 25% to get it here, it's going to kill that market.
And just as a for instance, this Porsche is estimated at $5 million. So that could add more than $1 million to the price tag of this car if it were sourced in Europe. And a lot of the Porsches, the Ferraris, and the Mercedes that are being sold in Pebble Beach are coming from European sellers. It also turns out that parts would also be subject to the tariffs. And if you bought this Porsche, the parts that you would need to keep it running also come from Europe. So a lot of people concerned here about the uncertainty and perhaps rushing this week to get in to buy the cars, European sellers to sell the cars before the tariffs come into effect, if and when they do. Guys?
That's crazy, Robert. I mean, just the price of that car. You know, let's talk about this. Would you want that car, or do you want a G5?
I would. You know, a G5 is a whole other level of expense.
You better have more money.
You can charter a plane.
You better have more money. If you buy the G5, you're going to need some money to run it, I think. But
yeah, I mean, these are great cars. There's a Ferrari 308, the Magnum PI Ferrari. That's coming up for sale. And Becky, I know you're a Ferris Bueller fan like me.
Yeah.
The Ferris Bueller Ferrari, I got to drive that car yesterday. It's coming up for auction. The actual car used in the movie is coming up for sale. It's still got the dent from when he kicked the car at the end of that movie, and I got to drive that yesterday.
Okay, once you drive it,
we're going to show that later today.
He drove it in reverse.
To get the miles off. Exactly.
Yeah.
It is so choice.